volume, wake the crowd. F'nAround, stop the day. Rats and raves, we got something to say.
Good morning and welcome back to F'nAround in the Morning. Today is December 18th and I'm your co-host Joe.
What's up, everybody? It's JJ, baby. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself, my man?
Man, Santino got a double ear infection, bro.
Jesus.
Double ear infection.
What the hell happened? You let him put the headphones on too much or something?
Man, I don't even know. You know, one thing I can tell you is like people out there, right? If your kids are sick, right, you don't need to bring them places like Thanksgiving and shit like that. Like if your kids are legitimately sick, you ain't missing out on shit. Don't get everybody else sick because now the whole entire house is sick, bro. Even a couple other guests from Thanksgiving are sick.
Have you had to do the chickenpox parties yet? I remember that when I was a kid.
No. Oh, were you talking about when you guys all have chickenpox together?
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. Except that
Yeah.
instead of it being where you force it, like our families did as kids. Remember that? This time is like one inappropriate fucking parent that doesn't give a fuck about anyone else, just didn't want to probably have to deal with their kids for a little while and pawned it off with the rest of the kids so somebody else could watch and got everyone sick.
Yeah, and so everybody got chickenpox together, right?
Right. But except this time, not everybody wanted it and they didn't tell anyone in advance. But like when you have chickenpox, everyone's like, oh my God, can my kid come over?
Yeah, fuck that. No, if your kids are sick, just fucking let them stay home, man. It's fucking crazy because now I'm not gonna lie. It's what, 3 weeks since 3.5 weeks almost since Thanksgiving or 2.5, right? Like that, something like that. He's been sick the entire time with a bunch of different stuff, and then I'm telling you, man, I don't know, you don't have any kids, right? But when there's just nothing
They haven't found me
you
yet.
can do, yeah, right? They haven't found you yet. There's probably a few. So when there's nothing that you can do, Joe, like you literally just got to sit there and watch him be in pain because there's only thing you could do is give him the amoxicillin that the emergency room gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, dude, I'm telling you, is it rough? It's not easy, dude, to watch the little guy suffer like that. But my boy's a champ, dude. He's handling it like a champ right now.
Well, that's good. Well, hopefully it gets better soon and quickly, and it'll be a great way to celebrate Christmas for him.
Yeah, dude, hopefully like all this stuff gets out of the way. That's kind of our thing too, right? So now hopefully all this little sickness shit will be out of the way and he'll be perfect right on time for right around Christmas.
Oh, that'd be great. He deserves it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Plus, especially if it's like maybe it should be a big hurrah for up here, for down there. I meant for your Christmas this year.
We're definitely gonna have some people, some friends over, kick it. But you know, low key, I don't want them sick no more. So if these people are coming sick, just stay the fuck home, please.
Wait, so do you guys do Feast of the Fishes?
Angela's family does. When we're in Chicago, Angela's family does all that. Not we've never the Fontanos. I don't remember, at least. I know they say they used to, but I don't remember the Fontanos ever doing it.
So we do it. My mom does it. My grandmother does it. Like, I mean, I heard stories from when I was little. Like I don't remember, but like there were people when they'd come over, like you wouldn't be able to eat any meat till after midnight. So she would make, if you wanted meat, you'd have to wait till after midnight to eat meat. Otherwise, on Christmas Eve, you can only have the fishes.
Yeah. The fish is not my thing, for one. Angela loves it. So like if there was a spot that's doing it, then Angela loves to go do the Feast of the Fishes or whatever.
So we pick it up from a bunch of places, and one of the places we do pick it up is Boston Fish Market.
Really?
Yeah. You know, but
so what does it consist of?
So every family's different. I mean, there's different versions, different stuff. It's just like basically 7 different fishes and special. Like our family over the years have evolved to a minimum of 7. Sometimes we've gone up to 21 of different seafood items we like, from like, you know, calamari to fucking scallops to fucking lobster to crab. So we don't go the traditional way anymore. We go all over the board, and you know what I mean? But we stay on the seafood realm.
No shit. Yeah. That's not bad. See, I fuck with some good calamari.
Yeah.
Some good calamari I'll fuck with.
So grilled calamari is my thing. Like, so
it's got to be breaded for me.
I like grilled. Even
scrimps, dude.
Tufanos does an amazing grilled. For our area, Tufanos is amazing. But my favorite to this day is still Erie Street Cafe.
No shit.
Yeah, the sauce they do it in, like whatever you call that, it's amazing. The flavoring, like I sit there with bread until all of it's soaked up. Like years and years ago, way pre-COVID, right? We ordered a bunch of them. It was so good, me and my family. Then after we ate all the grilled calamari, we used their sauce to marinate steaks in and soak them in. And then we cooked this. That's how good that it is.
Message.
Yep.
Hey, listen, this just turned into a cook show. Joe's gonna go grab the skillet, right? We're gonna whip this up real quick. Be back with you in an hour.
Well, I gotta wait for them to open, but yeah, it's so good.
No, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Yeah. So yeah, Angela's really into that. That's good. So you guys will be doing that then, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, with the new addition, because Ryan's wife will now be right.
Yes, she'll be part of it. Right? I mean, it's not like she wasn't part of it in the past.
No, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
She's been there for years.
How long have they been together?
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Nice.
You notice how that's like our timeline from now on? Pre-COVID, post-COVID.
Pre-COVID, post-COVID.
Right. We do timelines if it's after COVID, but if it's before COVID, pre-COVID.
So now what's nice is about this though. Now mom gets to hand these things off to Ryan's wife, right? So now all these traditions. Now Karen's gonna be like, hey, listen, you better start doing this shit. I'm relaxing. I'm not doing it.
And don't forget, she's from a big Italian family too, so she's got her own Italian traditions.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Good Christmas plans, dude. Good vibes. Santino will get better. Joe's gonna be over there feasting on fishes.
Oh yeah.
And,
I mean, we still got some time till we get there, and obviously we'll probably be taking pictures and posting them up on one of our channels. You know how we do it.
And while he's doing all this great, amazing things, we'll still have these drones flying around us, looking for God knows what.
They're bringing me my wife. Get it right. They're looking for me.
Listen, let me find out that you guys sent some encrypted ass message through some fucking half-ass fucking app and got a bunch of fucking aliens to come down here to find Mike and experiment on him.
Wasn't that like that? Remember that show back in the day, or that movie? I think it was a Disney knockoff, or it was a Disney show movie, Can of Worms, where the kid sends was that Disney? Mm-hmm. Where he sent like the message out to outer space, and then all the aliens and all these people from different places started coming because he basically said, "You're welcome to Earth."
Yeah, you're welcome to Earth. Yeah, now they're coming to fuck Joe and Mike.
Death by Snoo.
Oh,
I love that show.
So what is your, because I've got some, I'm not going to lie to you, I've got some crazy takes on this situation right now, right? I've heard, Joe Rogan, he posted a pretty, it's a pretty matter-of-fact video of a drone manufacturer.
Break it down.
Dude, this guy, so basically this guy's just telling people like, listen, I got government contracts, right? I do this. He's showing us his thing. He's showing everybody. He's like, I don't want to spread misinformation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys what a drone's used for, right? This is basically what they use drones for in the military. He doesn't tell you any secret missions or nothing like that, but he's like, listen, so drones are useless at night. Unless they have infrared or something like that on it, right? They're useless. And if they're out at night, they're looking for something or someone. So if drones are out doing mapping, right? Yeah, it could be you, right? Could be one floating above the building right now.
Yep.
So if
you're gonna make me look like Henry Hill, dude.
Oh no, don't say that. Have you all out there seeing helicopters and shit when you go to get your coffee after this, right? Joe's gonna be walking to get his coffee. He's gonna call me and be like, "Yo, they're on me. They're on me, guys." But so this guy's telling people like, listen, if they're doing mapping, which is what one politician has already said, they're out mapping, right? If they're doing that, then they're not going to be doing that at night.
Right. So, that makes sense because visually you want to be able to see the light and get the 100%. Pictures.
So it's just very matter of fact, common sense, dude. So if they're doing mapping, they're not out at night. So let's take away the ones that are during the day because those are out mapping.
Let's Sherlock this bitch.
Yeah. So now these are the ones at night. So now how do we explain these? Right. What are these guys doing? Well, like the guy says, he doesn't believe they're anything nefarious. So is China here getting ready to clip everybody with drones? Probably not, right? That's not happening. So whoever's thinking that these are drones sent from another country, I don't think that the government could pull that off without saying something. Right. They even couldn't. They tried to do that with the weather balloon. How long did that last?
Yeah, not at all. Not long at all.
A few hours, dude.
Right.
Before they had to say like, "Listen, we're going to shoot this bitch down." Right.
Right.
We got to do it. Right. So it can't be that. Right. So they're probably not nefarious. Right. So now let's go to what they would be looking for. Who would they be looking for? Is there anybody that we believe we need to find right now, Joe? Is there something that I've missed?
Not at night. I mean, you can't get their facial recognition properly at night from that high up.
Like you said, is Henry Hill running around again?
No idea. I mean, who knows? I mean, what is it? Our guy from American Gangster, Frank's out.
Yeah,
maybe
Frank Lucas. Maybe
his new replacement's out.
Yeah, so I mean, if something like that's going on, but then you got to go back to Sherlock Holmes. They would tell the American people, like, let's just say that El Chapo's right hand man,
Right.
they figured out was running around the United States, right?
Right hand,
They're
right hand,
trying to
probably.
find him.
How many right hands are we down to at this point, though?
Oh, I think they just got his son by. I think
Yep.
they're at like the 4th or 5th now because his son just got bumped not too long ago, or they're either charging him and looking for him, or he just got bumped. I can't remember, and I'll look into it next time. But so let's say they're looking for him, right? They would tell us, don't you think?
Oh, I think so. Because they'd
Right.
want, I mean, with how the society works now with Reddit and social media, you'd have the whole country in a flurry looking for him.
Right?
It just
Right,
it brings me back to remember hate to say it, but remember the Boston bombing for the marathon?
Yeah. Okay. Good. Another good one. Yeah.
Yeah, not a good thing, but a good
Well, no,
point.
I'm saying
yeah,
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Reddit went nuts with it, with all the pictures and the videos, and they went
all
through
the internet sleuths, right?
Yep,
Everybody's going crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, the American people are your best asset to find stuff.
100%. So now, if you were looking for somebody, right, at night, we would know. It's pretty much like anything. Okay,
Save the resources and the tax dollars. That's the people.
There you go. Right. So, and they also want the credit, mind you. So they would always want everybody to know that America, well, we were searching for these people, right? Whatever. So obviously we're not looking for somebody. So now what this guy dives into, right, is he says, well, I know of government officials that were trying to alert the current administration about a nuke that they literally physically touched in the Ukraine, that they had on good information was heading towards the United States, right? So now this was information that was given to the current administration. I'm not speaking to who. I don't know who exactly the information was given to. He didn't say. He just says that the current administration was given this information. So now what he is saying, and he believes this, is that he believes this nuclear warhead that they had information on made it to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you have is you have the current administration in a scramble trying to find this fucking nuke because nobody paid attention for the past 4 years.
Yeah, that seems like something we should be aware about.
Yeah, and then I have another really good friend of mine who is Joseph Phelan, right?
Yeah.
Just
I've never met him.
We don't know this guy. Just lets me know that, okay, so this is just, and this we just found out this morning. So I didn't even tell him about the video yet, and then he tells me this. So now we find out that Russia's nuke guy got killed.
Oh yeah, a terrorist attack. Like
now, mind you,
they're calling it a terrorist attack.
Yeah. So now, mind you, these nukes that they're talking about that could be traveling here are not just nukes that just came up, right? During the Reagan administration, when he dismantled the nuclear program, they lost track of a ton of nukes. So they're still, I think they said the number is 80 plus nukes are still not found from that era, right?
Right.
So it's only safe to believe that if the Ukraine ended up with a nuke, who gave it to him, Joe?
Well, based on the news and we're going, I mean, let's tie it into what else came up that we saw. Didn't Al Jazeera post something about the fact that both the UN, the Pentagon, and Ukraine is aware that North Korea is on the front lines helping Russia?
Yeah.
So if you tie that all in, that means you have North Korean soldiers have access to now Europe. So if you're going to bring a nuke in, whether it be Russian or North Korean, once you're in Europe, it's probably easier to get it over here from Europe than it is from Russia or North Korea or Asia.
So now you have this country, right? We're going to call it Ukraine's got what, $70 trillion plus in the past 4 years, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. That one I do not know on, but I do know it's money we could have used.
Yeah. And my question becomes is let's just say a nuke did make it here, right? And it was sighted in Russia and in Ukraine and originated from there.
Yep.
We basically gave you guys all this money and you guys let this happen.
Yeah, it sounds typical, doesn't it? But don't forget, didn't they say if you follow the money, a lot of the money came back to our politicians over here?
Oh, I'm sure. 100%. All you got to do is follow the money, and you got to be willing to take the time to actually break that shit down. And
all you got to do is follow the line the hunter drove, cut out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now you have the theory of the mapping, right? So they're out doing mapping. Then you have the theory of maybe they're looking for some type of radioactive material,
through radioactive or like some type of heat sensor for it.
Yeah, so some way, and then obviously we're not looking for anybody, right? So that can't even be a theory. And then I seen another thing on News Nation about it, right? So on News Nation, I don't remember the politician, but a politician sitting there, he's a sworn official, he says, and he says that 50 of these things rose from out of the water, right? Now, how true is this? We really don't fucking know, right? But, for just the fact of the matter that you can't even let the American people know what is going on with these drones flying above them. So now all these crazy theories pop up, and a lot of them, they actually make some sense.
It is kind of sad how that kind of makes sense. And then you start tying in all the other pieces. You go back to North Korea, you go to Russian head nuclear people going apart. Too many lines and too many threads. And we're not trying to make it a conspiracy, but the point is, like, at what point does it just make sense? I mean, I do a business strategy all the time. You see me yelling and ranting about putting it together. At what point do you realize some of these things don't add the fuck up?
That's all it is, dude.
Right. And we get governments and tech companies have way better equipment and stuff than us, right? Yep. And they have stuff. Some people have stuff years and years ahead of us, and we know that. I mean, look at the concept of what you and I learned about what you could do with AI if you're over there in Asia, and what if you're a big tech company and you have money, but versus what we have access to do.
Yeah.
Just for making videos and stuff like that. It's a whole different
videos and stuff. Yep.
It's a whole different concept, but the concept of they're not showing something and creating a bigger issue of it. It's not only what are they doing, but why are they having our attention on this? Because that's always my first question. When something is happening, what are we missing? So like I said with the P. Diddy thing, and I said it with Jay-Z, when there's this much publicity on him and all the people are supposed to be paying attention, what the fuck else is going on? What are we missing?
Yeah, what are we not paying attention to?
Right. What is being pushed through with regulatory groups? What is happening over there? What are we missing? What is happening right now that we're not supposed to be paying attention to? And remember, this isn't going back to a Trump situation. Look who's still in office. So what the hell is Biden and his team doing on the way out that has the whole world watching P. Diddy and his diddling and all these drones? Or is it because
we can't really attack the old man, right? So at this point,
his administration,
yes, his party and his administration are doing this to him.
Right. So now,
attack the old man.
So now let's take it another step, right? Trump's not really one to keep the secrets hidden. Yeah, he does have his secrets. He does his stuff. But between him and Musk, if they're going to be coming in and playing hardball, right? I get a weird feeling they're going to start talking shit again, right? And talking shit meaning spilling the fucking truth and effing around. So
100%
message. But
message.
The point of that is that means they're trying to clean up something or cap something off right now and pull something through before they come in. They're trying to button up a case. They're trying to hide something. They're trying to pull something off or undo some damage that they single-handedly caused in these last 4 years that can't make it to the next administration. Otherwise, you would not be doing this massive fucking drone thing to throw the whole country in an uproar unless, one, you need the drones for something, but on the other hand, you're trying to distract from something else.
Maybe it's just pulling the okey doke on everybody.
Right. Exactly.
So it could be something literally as simple and stupid as that, and then see where the problem. This is where we get back to the problem. It fucking makes sense.
Yep.
It fucking makes sense.
Because have you seen
these stupid fucking people? And you're right. You talk about it. Go look at every situation. Go to the diddler stuff, and so on and so forth. Right, the weather balloon, all that shit. Right. There was always something that we missed that we were looking at 2-3 weeks later, where everybody's like, yo, well, this was happening. Did anybody really pay attention? Because this is what was going on. And we're always having to look back and being like, holy fuck, we weren't even paying attention. We were looking at a fucking weather balloon.
Exactly. I say it with everybody, every politician. When they're doing SEO, PR, it's a crisis management thing. Anytime a company is talking about something good they're doing, they're hiding something bad they're doing. Let's change that. Not every company.
Not every, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But most companies, the more good press or the more good products or brands or things they're pushing out there on a daily basis usually means there's something they're trying to cover for. They're trying to control their Google search index and their SEO.
Wow.
And it's bad, but it's true.
So this could be just a play to once again take advantage and make all the American people, I'm not talking about anybody specific, and I'm always going to say that, all the American people, right, make them look like a bunch of fucking goofies, fly a bunch of fucking drones above the fucking country and make everybody think that there's some crazy shit going on. when realistically you're just trying to fucking tighten up before you got to go to the nursing home.
Have you seen some of the drone shows, by the way? Have you seen like the videos? Have you seen now they can do all the shapes and designs in the skies and all this stuff?
Yes.
So with one computer, they can set up a whole football field of drones and do massive, crazy shows, right?
Yeah, and these are just normal people.
Normal people.
People, right?
I wouldn't call them normal. I think they're an advanced elite version of normal, of the abilities with the.
Well, no, I'm talking about like not the U.S., not funded by the U.S. government with unlimited funds behind them. These are people that own businesses that have started careers doing this. Yeah.
So now let's switch it to that, and now let's put a government ability where they can fly a drone and have drone fights from across the fucking ocean, and they can control. Right. Yeah. So you can probably have 1,000 drones controlled by one computer, just
by
doing
a tablet. Yeah, just sitting there,
completely pre-programmed on their paths and what they're going to do.
And that's unlimited funds, right? Because all you're using is taxpayer dollars, all this money that taxpayers pay for.
Let's call it unlimited credit lines with China.
Oh, message. Everybody pay attention. Because if China called our debt, we would be speaking fucking Chinese today.
Exactly. You get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, yeah, 100%. No, but once again, we're not saying that that's what's going on, right? Because there very well could be something going on with radioactive material. They could be looking for somebody, right? They could be mapping, right?
Right.
We're just going to say, but what we're saying is the fact of the matter is all of these different scenarios, they make good sense.
Yeah.
They make good sense.
And who knows which scenario it is. And we might not even know the right one right now. We're in far off left space, right? Who fucking knows? But the point is, what are we missing?
But and we're not being told, right? So us as American people, it's like we're getting to the point where we just don't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is if we pay our taxes. If you don't, that's literally the only thing that the
and remember, the drops in the bucket by the American people. Each individual person isn't even a fucking drop in the bucket of the taxes. They fight for, they sue us for, they press charges. But the corporations have the loopholes that would make the difference, and they're the ones they're not fighting.
Yes, 100%. Because guys like, let's just call a spade, guys like Donald Trump being able to use the tax code to their advantage is a lot worse to our economy than me not paying my taxes, is basically what you're saying.
100% true. But because he knows the tax laws and
loophole. Pay my taxes.
When you have taxes to pay. Right? We're the American people too. We're all going through those problems. But the problem is they're going to fucking go after you because you don't know the tax holes and the loopholes. They're going to make you file an audit over $1,000 that you didn't pay them, and they're going to go after you over $1,000 and ruin your fucking life and make your life hell for $1,000. But other people, Trump included, millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars there that because he knows the loopholes. Yeah. But once again, the loopholes they're going to scream and yell about are the same loopholes they're using themselves.
Quick funny story, right? So Illinois fucked up on my taxes, right? Last year. They gave me $100 extra, right? So like months down the road, it's almost into this past tax season, right? And they send me a letter. They're like, you owe us the $100. We paid you incorrectly. It was our mistake. And I'm like, okay, for sure. How do I pay you? Right. They're like, well, you got to mail in this check. And I was like, listen, I'm not sending checks to you over the mail like that, dude, without you telling me that I'm decent. And I'm arguing with this guy. I'm like, dude, how do I know that I send you the money and you tell me you never got it? You're telling me to send you and I'm talking to the fucking people at the fucking IRS about this, right? And it's all because they sent me the extra 100. So I get them the 100, right? I get them the 100, all done and over with. And they still send me a letter telling me that I still owe the interest for how long it took me to pay, right? But they didn't notify me till 7 months later.
So then the interest compounded.
So they're like, oh, well, we didn't know you lived in Georgia. I was like, how did you not know I lived in Georgia? We're almost into the next tax season. All my stuff is moved over to Georgia.
Right.
You sent me my Illinois check because, mind you, when you move to another state, usually your state refund comes by check by mail for verification purposes. Then after that, they will direct deposit everything. So I didn't have that option with my Illinois state refund, right? So they had to mail it to me. I'm telling this guy, you just told me you didn't know I lived in Georgia. You sent the fucking check to Georgia.
Yeah.
Now I can't get a hold of nobody again.
Of course. I mean, I remember years ago for me, they owed me money, right? And they wanted me to re-amend it for it because of the fact that I forgot to add it on my taxes. And I missed adding it on my taxes because it was like one of the forms that came in where I would have got more of a refund. And it flagged it that I failed to add it. And then I'm like, okay, so how much do I owe for it? And like, actually, we owe you. I'm like, so why are you telling me? And they go, well, it flagged in our system that you forgot to add something that we had a thing for. Yeah. So I'm like, so do I get penalized if I don't do it? I'm like, well, not in this case, but if you owed us, I'm like, so you want me to amend to ask for money from you? And they're like, well, if you'd like to, you can. I'm like, yeah, no, forget it. Like,
no, I'm good.
But like, they started to go after me and talk to me when I was on the phone because of the fact that they didn't realize the alert was they owed me money.
Yeah, and then they finally realized, oh shit, we actually owe this guy money. Right. We better put the fuck up. Yeah, I mean,
but at that point, it's more of a headache to redo my taxes and do it over to go through the process.
To go amend all that shit and go through all that bullshit. Just fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are they going to do? They're going to like not have one extra drone because they didn't pay me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. one extra drone. They might not have been able to. Well, actually, you took it out of Ukraine's pocket, just so you know. So that ballerina fairy dancing president Zelensky or whatever the fuck his name is.
I want to see him on Dancing with the Stars dance with Trudeau.
Yo, wasn't he like literally on a dance show before?
Yeah, I think he was. That's why I was making the joke.
Yeah, well, yeah. So listen, Dancing with the Stars. As much as we would love to see that, it would definitely murder your fucking show. So don't do it, but it would be hilarious.
Yeah,
keep him in Trudeau and him in a tutu. You got to put Zelensky in a tutu.
What are you gonna put Trudeau in, a wedding dress?
No. You ever seen Borat? You know when he wears that like triangle thong thing?
Borat. Yeah.
My name is Borat.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta get him in one of them thingies, and he'll dance on stage with Trudeau in the tutu.
Yeah, that guy was a brilliant actor. Still is, but you know what I mean. Like he's kind of taken it back.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yep.
Amazing, dude.
I remember when he was doing Ali G.
Oh my God! Right? That's where it all starts. Dude.
That's where it all started.
And listen, you can't fucking do comedy like that.
Not at all. Can't get away with it.
Killed it, dude. You know what's so shitty? My son will not be able to grow up with things like American Pie.
Yep.
Borat. Ali G. Fucking Cat Williams, dude. Remember all that shit, dude. All that shit is just done. All the best stuff in the world. What was the other one? It's a little bit older. Porky's.
Oh, Porky's. Meatballs.
Oh my God, knock it the fuck off. And now, because of the way things are all going and all this goofy shit, my son is going to have to fucking not be able to have those fucking, remember those sleepovers with your friends and you just binge watch American Pie with a bunch of fucking sugar and shit? Dude, I used to do that shit all the time after football games in practice, dude.
All the classic movies.
Yeah, exactly. American Pie was our go-to at all times, dude. You couldn't beat Stifler.
Yeah, he was the best.
On the late night, dude, especially when you had some chicks over, had some girls over, you put on American Pie, get some all, you know?
I mean, even the shows, like the shows that are staples now, even though people still watch them, like Seinfeld and Friends and all that stuff, they can't be redone.
They can't. No, they can't. Movie quality is definitely different, dude, in general.
I just meant like most of the jokes wouldn't land the same.
No, none of it. No, you just, none of that. It doesn't, none of it goes together no more. And then when they try to do it, it doesn't even make sense or that person gets canceled. So it's fucking, but you know, we mentioned Trudeau, right? What's this stuff about the Canadian financial prime minister? What's that?
Oh my, did you see that? So I saw it this morning, right? Did you see like they're in their parliament screaming and yelling about how they need a real election and remove him? I mean, I know you're picturing South Park when they did it too, with like the heads popping. Yeah. Yep. I picture that every time.
Canadians, dude.
Yeah. But they're screaming and fucking yelling because they want him removed now, or they want it doing because of all his fuck ups with Trump and the tariffs, right? Because he's doing all their tariffs talks.
Yeah.
But everything he's doing with them, where Trump basically offering to be the 51st state now, they're all screaming and yelling for it. And what's making me even more mad was, I guess, super early this morning, which by the time you're listening to this would be yesterday. But the finance, was it the finance director?
Yeah.
Prime Minister of Finance.
Prime Minister of Finance. Yep.
Yeah. fucking resigned. What does that tell you about the state of their fucking country? Like before their meeting.
Up. Yeah.
No.
No, listen, that's fucking I mean, go back to the truck driver shit.
Yeah.
Look at the way he handled the truck driver situation, dude. You literally froze people's bank accounts, and then you got the balls to call Trump a fucking communist?
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, honestly, at this point, I don't know why we're talking about having to be the 51st state. Shouldn't you be calling England? Go worship your fucking king? Like, you fall under their...
Why don't we contact Flood Brothers, right? We got some friends at Flood Brothers. Why don't we see if they just want to make it a giant fucking dump and let all the Canadians that are good people come over there and let Trudeau stay over there and manage the dump?
I heard they got a lot of good oil up there.
Well,
just saying.
Yeah, well, we need that. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm... No, I'm just saying, remember, if you say there's oil, they'll come. We'll come.
Yep.
Wasn't that like some joke movie back in the day where some people said they found oil in like some part in the Middle East just to bring the American people in to start a fake war and build their civilization? It was like some...
And then George
skit.
Bush did that? Whoops. Sorry.
But...
Spoiler alert, George Bush did that, everybody.
But it's like when I was... So like for Canadian Bacon. Remember that movie Canadian Bacon back in the day?
Yeah.
So in Canadian Bacon was... I was watching. I love that movie. It's a classic.
Classic movie.
When the Ukraine thing first started, my first response was, hey, it's Canadian bacon. When a president's near the end of their first term, if they're in a war, it makes them almost hard. It's basically impossible to remove them. You have to basically massively fuck up your whole fucking term and screw over all your people to not get reelected during a war term. So that's what the whole movie Canadian Bacon was about. He needed to create a fake war to continue to get reelected and beat his opponent. So he created a whole fake war with Canada to get reelected. And just happened that, you know, our lovely comedians that we grew up with decided to actually go in and infiltrate Canada to stop them themselves. No
shit, dude.
I think it was John Candy too.
John Candy, GOAT situation, man. Dude,
yeah, but
fucking... So wait. So do you think that something like that is possible
in this situation where it's escalated to and how bad it is? I don't think so. No, right? You know, not at all. There's with the casualties and what's going on, not at all. But I'm saying every time a war pops up near the end of a first term, that's the first flag in my head. So that was my first thing. Like, I don't think, oh my God, there's a war. I think, okay, what's the manipulation going on here? And then you see it's an actual war. Like, oh my God, it's an actual war. This is sad for the people, right? Like, and then you feel bad and you like all that. But
so what do the Canadian people do now, Joe? How does their elections go over there? Is it the same as over here?
It's so don't forget they're still part of England.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So not part of England, but you know they
under the Queen's rule. Yeah,
King's rule now, right?
King, Queen, they're all the same shit over there, pretty soon.
But they have their like parliament type set up, and they have their own little parties, and they have to get the majority leadership of a party. They do alignment. It's kind of like our whole aldermanic system here, except they have more votes, I guess you could say, and they have labor parties. You know, so it's very similar, but on the same time, very fucking different. Like, so one of the things I think is hilarious, like if you lose the support of your party, you can lose the office.
So is that what we see happening now?
I think that's what we see happening.
So Trudeau's probably on his way out the door.
They're calling for him out the door. Yep.
And so why doesn't he go?
Well, he's stubborn, obviously. But at the same time, like sometimes people think he can fix it. I mean, he went from what, like this great person everyone liked years ago to now look where he's at. He overestimated his position.
He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Yeah, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. He really wasn't that great of a person. People just started paying attention because they were making too much noise during COVID. To see, that's what we would call in prison doing too much, right?
Yep.
You guys could have came up with a whole better situation besides all that was created from COVID, right? And when COVID happened, you had so many people showing their hand that everybody got caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
Way too many of them. And I mean, it doesn't surprise me though that like look at a majority of our celebrities.
Yeah, once again, everybody post COVID. Now you're starting to see people where that goes for top to bottom. Music executives, somebody. You go through the whole situation that we deal with. everybody is starting to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
No, I meant like look at a lot of the celebrities we look up to today as celebrities. A lot of them are Canadian now. Like you can't even tell they're from Canada, and they're all over America. I mean, how many times does Ryan Reynolds have to make the joke to say the fuck out of my country?
Oh yeah. So a lot. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. So a lot of the big celebrities now are Canucks.
Yep. Comedians, artists, like actual, like it's crazy to think about it. You wouldn't realize it because it's so similar, but it's so different politically.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, I used to, don't forget, I used to go up there so I used to go to Windsor. That's where I was going. I used to go to Windsor all the time when I was younger because you can drink and gamble at 19. Just so you know. Yep. And it's on the other side of the Detroit border. So you just got to drive to Detroit and go through the tunnel. And you're there. It's right over the bridge. Damn. So it was a very easy transition for us. But back then, when I went, you could go over with a fucking driver's license. Nowadays, it's like passport shit. But back when I was younger, you can go to Mexico or you can go to Canada with just a driver's license. Go there and back.
They wouldn't let me in Canada. Is that a true statement?
So if you have a criminal background, then they do need you to get a waiver and stuff. And there's a bunch of different stuff for it. After a certain amount of time, you could do like a little release thing, and they'll let you through. And there's not an issue unless you're flagged on a different a level. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you do have to sign like a waiver, like a visa waiver.
So is it so let's say me and you wanted to go to Canada next week, right? I would need to is that like a process I would need to start now, or do I just do that at the border?
I don't know, but I could research it for you. That one I do not. I'm not aware.
I don't want to go. I'm not going to lie to you. I remember being in jail and everybody always telling me that I can't go anywhere that's under the Queen's rule. So like I can't go to England. I can't go to I don't know. London is England.
Right.
So,
yeah. But just it's not just Queen's rule. There's a lot of different countries that have rules for not letting people in based on your records.
What the fuck? So I'm fucked?
No, it's just there's certain countries that don't allow you in based on what you've done. Some just don't care. Some you just sign a waiver, but other ones it's like, yo, we don't want you here.
Can I go to Greece?
Do you see what they do in Greece?
Okay. That's awesome.
So I got no issue with Greek people. I love Greek people, and I love Greek food. But one of my good friends,
and wifey love Greek food. I hate it. I hate saganaki. It's disgusting,
dude. Greek food is amazing, and I love swordfish kebabs. Absolutely love them. Greek Fest is amazing. But remember that dark bar we used to go to over in Greektown?
Yep.
Remember George? May he rest in peace too. The bartender there. Mm-hmm. So every time I walked in, he'd scream and yell at me, "You dirty fucking Guido!" He goes, "Don't forget, it took us Greeks to invent sex." And I'd look back at him and, "Yeah, fucking Greek, but at least we introduced it to women."
Yeah, got him. I was gonna say the same thing. They did invent sex, but it was with men.
But it was just the love, the Italians and Greeks. We always joke around and fun, but it was like that's how I remember them. Every time I walked in the bar, that was our joke. You know what I mean? So maybe to those listening, you hate it and you're upset by it, but it's like the Greek and Romans. When you grew up learning history, you learned about Greeks and Romans at the same time. Their histories are so close.
Which they don't teach no more.
Yeah, so they don't teach that anymore.
They don't teach no proper history no more. You don't learn the shit that we learned. The stuff that my niece, like I told you, didn't even know who, man, what the fuck his name? What was Winston Churchill?
Yeah,
didn't even know who Winston Churchill was, dude. It's absolutely insane. They don't even teach the right parts of history anymore.
So I was curious about this because I've never actually had a full-on conversation with someone in the South for education, because the last thing I want to do is ask somebody about their kids in the South when I'm talking business. But what do they do for teaching the Civil War in the South, from the South's perspective? Do they do it from the South's perspective, or they do it for still from the Union perspective? Because I know what I learned growing up and you know what you learned. So I was always curious, do they spin it?
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think my niece knows a goddamn thing about the Civil War.
Okay.
My niece hasn't even got homework. I've been around my niece consistently for 2 years now.
Right.
Right. Where I lived in Georgia. Right. I've never seen one piece of homework. And it's not her. I know it's not her. The principal told me out of her mouth, herself, they don't give homework anymore.
I mean, we had minimums we had to give a day per class and level.
Man, my backpack. Now whether I did the homework or not was a whole
totally different story. Yeah,
but I'm telling you right now, my fucking remember our assignment. Remember assignment notebooks. Remember the little books that they used to give out with the cool covers that used to move when you moved them and shit.
Yeah,
the image moved, right, dude. We used to get those, and my bitch was full. You had so much shit you needed to do at night, and my niece is 11, so I'm gonna actually ask her today, and we're gonna reroute back on this question tomorrow, right? Because I'm interested too, but I don't believe she's been taught anything about the Civil War up
Because
to
I think
11
we
years old.
started. I think maybe it was around 13 that we started that. Because don't you?
I learned
12 or
about it
13.
before I had to leave. You
Right.
couldn't leave 8th grade.
Right. That's what I was
Remember?
gonna say. It was like 13 where you had to take the Constitution test. Right.
She's leaving
8th
8th
grade.
grade. This is her
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, okay. Okay. So because I thought it was 8th grade that you have to take the U.S. Constitution
No,
test.
no. Yeah, no. She's going into 6th grade.
Yeah. Okay.
Going
Yeah.
into 6th.
So
My
maybe
bad,
she's
going
not there yet because I remember you had to do the Bill of Rights and the Constitution test that you had to pass
in order to go to freshman year.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
And they made a big deal about it.
You had to know all the states. You had to know all the capitals.
Mhm.
You had, I mean, you.
Oh,
had
I remember
to know
that. Yeah.
all these things just to go to freshman year. So, I mean, I know she knows her states, right?
And
that's something her father taught her.
Yeah,
That's
and
not cool.
I don't remember them as much, but I do remember Animaniacs helped out a lot with that.
Yeah.
We used to sing that song all the time.
We had a song that the Animaniacs had. Yeah, there was, and we used to. I mean, I remember like that was something that we learned. We started learning. You started learning that there was a Civil War in 6th, 7th, and then you really got to it in 8th grade. You really got to the nitty gritty of what slavery was. I could still tell you my teacher that taught me about it, dude. Mr. Sartori, Italian guy, English and history teacher, out of this fucking world, bro.
No.
Indian Trail Middle School, Plainfield, Illinois. Shout out to you.
And then you get really more in detail in high school, but you touch the broader topics while you're.
No, yeah, you learned what slavery consisted of in 8th grade, right? Then when you hit freshman year, you learned that there was people getting raped and fucking killed and shit like that. You learned that all that was going on throughout high school, but these kids don't know shit. Dude. And I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna find out.
And then if you take it in college, you go even deeper into how fucked up it is.
Yes. When you start getting into history and, oh my God, when you start getting to it in college, now you get into the real nitty gritty of what them Romans were doing and the fucking Greeks back then and Genghis Khan and shit like that too.
Yeah. You actually get
Tzu. You get into some real shit, dude.
Right. It was, what was it? It was the Columbus. When you're a kid, Columbus discovered America.
Yep.
When you get to high school, you realize that Leif Erikson discovered America. When you get to college, you realize Columbus tried to fuck America.
Yes. There you go. Couldn't have put it better myself.
And I'm not trying to attack on Columbus. Like I grew up Italian. I'm just saying how history is, where they teach you the truth. It's just kind of layered over your lifetime of education, where they sugarcoat it until they give you the actual truth of what happened.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't think anything like that is going on these days.
Yeah.
And, I actually can, ask my nephew, because my nephew's 17, and I'm kind of curious what he knows of these things.
Right.
I know that history is something that sparks his interest, but I don't think they're being taught it. I know my nephew calls me in the middle of the day while he's at school in class. He'll be able to get on the phone. He'll be like, "Hey, what's up, Unc? What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Dude, it's fucking 11 o'clock. Aren't you at school?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in this chill period. Oh, y'all got chill periods. Man.
We had study periods.
I had study hall and I needed to get my homework done so I could go out when I got home from school. But so I'm going to jump into something a little bit touchy, and I'm glad that we were talking about school here, right? Because I want to say a little something about this school shooting in Wisconsin, my boy.
That's horrible.
This is fucking just tragic. And I know we're gonna get a lot of different mixed emotions on this topic, right? Because it brings up the topic of gun laws, right?
Right.
People are losing their lives over kids believing that these things are okay, and obviously this stuff's always been there, right? This has happened before,
multiple times. Sadly,
it seems like the frequencies is what the scary part of this is now, right? It's how often it's happened. I mean, it happened over here at a school by me, remember? Appalachia. You had that happen on the football field. Now you have 3 dead, 6 injured, 2 in critical condition at a Christian school outside of Madison, Wisconsin. What do you think, bud?
There's just nothing really can say. Like, it's the fact that it's still happening. I mean, it makes you wonder how it's happening. I mean, at this point, like, how are they getting access to it? How are these kids getting it? Like, I get some in certain areas or things going on where access to weapons are easier. I get maybe in rural areas. that maybe they have access to different types of guns and doing things. But if you're in the home, not like teaching them the gun safety, they should have no access to the guns. And even if they have access, it has to be limited and under parental supervision. The fact that these guns are able to leave the homes and get to fucking schools, what the fuck is going on at home?
It blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
I hear about these moms and dads like, oh, I got him this rifle for Christmas.
Right.
What?
And
you got him a rifle for Christmas?
And okay, so I'm gonna go against that for a second. I can get getting a kid a rifle for Christmas and then keeping the gun safe and then going to a range and shooting like traps. What is it? Skeet shooting? And skeet shooting or shooting the cans in your backyard, wherever you are, however you do it. But when you're not with the parental supervision, it goes in a locked gun safe under parental supervision that they don't have access to.
Valid. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm still going to agree to disagree with that, right? Because I can tell you right now, I'm all for guns. I can't have one, but I'm all for them. I believe you should be able to have them.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm saying...
Yeah, I know you're not. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I agree to disagree, though, because I would never... Santino would get a gift, like let's say Santino becomes an avid wanted hunter, right?
Right.
And we know that this is a possibility, right?
Right.
I can't go hunt, but maybe one of his friends' dads does, and he goes and enjoys that with them. I could tell you right now, he would not be getting a gift for a gun for a gift until he's like 18, 19, 20.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's just my personal view. So I do see what you're saying, though. There's nothing wrong with the gift. Right. It's teaching the proper way to do the right things with the gift.
Okay, so now let's switch it up. You live in a city area, basically. If you lived on a farm area or rural area where farming is a big thing and hunting is a normal, natural occurrence.
Oh, well, no, that is around here. That is around here. Yeah,
so, I still view you as a city person. So I view you as a city.
I'm from the city.
Right. Yes. I view you as a city mentality. In a city mentality, why the fuck does your kid need a gun?
There you go.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. City mentality, your kid doesn't need a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Yes. An 18-year-old, great. You want to do that for safety and precaution? I understand 100% a father buying his fucking daughter a gun and teaching her fucking gun safety if you live in a fucking city. I get that. 100
that's
fucking
the key word right there. To go back to that key phrase, gun safety.
Yes.
Right? So it's not a problem. You don't got to take away the guns.
Right.
We got to start teaching them how to fucking use them correctly and keeping them safe.
Because you can't have these detrimental, sad situations keep occurring. There's got to be an issue. And the fact that it keeps happening in schools says the problem's at fucking home.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong.
It's not the gun places, right? It's not the gun laws. Right, it's stemming from the home, right? That's what you would believe, right? This is
right. And there's probably something going on at school that pushes them over the edge to do that, and we'll find out about that later. And then that's the school issue,
so on and so forth, right?
Right, and that's the school issue, right? But the home issue is the fact that they had access to it in the fucking first place. That's the issue from the home front. They should have never had access to get it without the parental supervision.
Yeah, see, because I think I mentioned the other day, I think I mentioned it on here. When I was younger, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, 5th grade, right? I wasn't the fucking coolest kid in the fucking world, right?
Right.
I started playing football 6th grade. And after I started playing football is when I started becoming, let's call quote unquote, one of the cool kids. Because back when we were younger, Joe, that was real.
Right.
Right? There was bullying every day. But I never even had a thought in my mind of shooting somebody.
Right.
Right. And that's because of the way my parents taught me. So did I get bullied at times when I was younger? Yeah. But my thought was my dad always taught me, right? Somebody's picking on you. Beat the fuck out of them.
And they remove that ability nowadays.
By making these guns accessible.
Well, not only that, by the legal system and how they're doing the lawsuits. My mom joked about it when I was younger. She used to say it to my brother and I. You guys are the last generations where you're able to fight in school. After you guys, fights became the fight between the parents and lawsuits. And you're probably at the cusp of that with us too, where think about after us. Like even when it got closer to your younger brother John, you start seeing that less fighting occurred, and it seemed like more like lawsuits or people talking?
Yeah, it was more after, like, right when John Michael started getting done with school, like
Yeah.
junior and senior year, you started seeing people start suing schools and shit like that.
Exactly, because their kids got in a fight and they got hurt, which means the legal system the legal system got a little too loosey goosey, where you could sue over everything. And yeah, I mean, I sue, I do my
loosey-goosey.
and I sue over stuff too. What happens? But the issue is, where the point is it building the character, like building the backbone and what's going on.
Great point. That's
right.
An excellent point.
And you could tie it back to a bunch of other stuff. I used to make this joke all the time, and it was a joke that I made back in the day. And I'm sorry if you take offense to this. I love my troops. I support my troops. I always support my vets. But I always said, if you took 5 guys from my generation and you put them up against 5 guys from 2 decades ago, we get our asses kicked. You took 5 guys from 2 decades ago and you put them up against from two decades before that, they'd get their asses kicked because the training is different. I'm removing special forces. I'm removing elites. I'm removing the top of the top because they're a whole different level. You can't even fucking put that on there. But I'm saying the fact that when I was going through, when I was getting to the end, we were calling it Mothers Against America is what we called it inside, but they were already getting involved where you couldn't beat people. You couldn't attack people. People were calling in trouble and getting their parents involved because they got hit by a drill instructor in boot camp to strengthen them up. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. That's the whole fucking
right.
Jesus. So basically, simple term, softening up America as time goes on, right?
Correct. And that's how I view it. The same thing with the schooling. And yes, there are limits on what should be softening up. And yeah, people are going to be upset. Well, it's better for the kids, all this. But the problem is, as a society now, we all get upset and butthurt by any time someone says something upset to us. You can't make a joke. You can't have comedy. Yes, people are always going to get their feelings hurt, but it shouldn't be a legal issue. If you want to build an elite fighting force to protect your country, you got to be able to take a fucking punch.
And America's not able to do that no more.
Right. I remember a joke they used to say. They'd walk up to us and say, you know what the sound of 2 turtles fucking are? And we'd be like, what? And they'd start smashing our helmets together.
and just bouncing your shit.
Yeah, bounce us off each other for shits and giggles. Speaking of shits and giggles and bouncing our heads off each other, I think it's time for your spotlight because we've been running over.
Yeah. So here we go. That was a good. Oh, hey, listen, this was a good one, my boy. I really like this one. Thanks. So obviously everybody knows that we partnered up with Phil D and WURE to broadcast our amazing morning.
Thank you for that, by the way.
yeah. Thank you very much, Phil. We appreciate the fuck out of you. But one thing we want to bring a lot of spotlight to right now is champagne brand that we definitely plan on doing a lot more with. So Phil started a champagne brand called Almond Kush Champagne, right? And he obviously, Phil is an avid marijuana advocate, right?
Yes.
And he also doesn't mind drinking some champagne every once in a while. So I haven't been able to try it yet, but we're actually in the works of getting some to each of us. I've already talked to him about it.
Nice.
So we'll make sure to start getting some more information to everybody about that as time goes on and this evolves. And, huge shout out to Phil for not letting that go, because Phil started that quite some time ago, and he has really been putting a lot into it to get it to where it's at right now.
Right. Shout out to him. Shout out to Almond Kush. Love the name. It's got a great little feeling to it. Yeah, great name.
Doesn't it fit the Canna Consigliere thing?
Oh, it definitely does.
Right? It fits in that whole realm of what you guys got going on, because even you are you're going to have some news in the next couple weeks about some liquor news for yourself over there. So, it's definitely something that we've been interested in. So huge shout out to Phil and Almond Kush Champagne.
Yep. Shout out. Love it. Can't wait to get it out here. Hopefully my brother has his full taste buds back so he could be trying it.
We need Ryan's opinion. I don't drink.
Yeah, I'm not drinking. We know that.
Yeah, we're both sober over here.
Yeah, we're caffeine and water addicts, but I still act crazy, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Hey man, it's been great kicking it with everybody today. I'm JJ, everybody.
I'm Joan. Thanks for effing around with us in the morning.
Thank you for effing around with us in the morning.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.
F'nAround, start the day. Rest and brains, we got something to say. Feel the beat, the energy rise. It's morning mayhem, no surprise. We're F'nAround, sun's up, it's true. Morning vibes just for you.
Glozman
Sounds
Law.
good.